ABC 10 News at 4 starts now.
Less than an hour ago, the county agreed to appeal a judge's ruling to allow restaurants to operate again. The public plea from one supervisor as the legal battle continues. Plus the status on the approval for the Moderna vaccine and how many doses California could get. And we're going to hear from local restaurant workers after being able to go back to work again. But first, we have some breaking news. Less than an hour ago, the House approved a stopgap bill to prevent a federal shutdown tonight. The two-day funding bill will now go to the Senate and requires the consent of all 100 senators. Tonight, lawmakers are struggling to agree on a COVID-19 relief package. The relief package is tied to a $1.4 trillion funding bill to keep the government running through next September. We'll keep you updated. Also tonight, county supervisors just announced they will join California's appeal to fight a judge's ruling that allows restaurants to stay open during the stay-at-home order. The county will only argue that the order is incorrect as it relates to strip clubs and indoor dining. The board says it supports outdoor dining with safety measures. Our ABC 10 News reporter Rachel Bianco explains what led to this.
While restaurants across San Diego welcome back customers, Supervisor Nathan Fletcher took to social media Friday to make a plea to the public.
You have to make an individual decision and choice. You can't count on the enforcement, you can't count on the courts. You have to count on each other.
Any enforcement came to a screeching halt when a local judge ruled that restaurants and businesses with restaurant services can remain open during the governor's regional stay-at-home order. The ruling allows 2 local strip clubs to stay open while their case moves through the legal process. But in a move that surprised many, the judge confirmed it includes all restaurants.
I practiced law for many years. I am a professor now. I really can't think of another instance where I've seen that kind of order.
When a judge comes out and says, I don't see a link between restaurants and COVID cases, and I think that the judge is fundamentally wrong, and I am confident that it will be overturned on appeal.
The ruling also includes Dr. Wilma Wooten's own words, saying in part, quote, in the absence of such evidence, Dr. Wooten's representation that penalizing sectors like restaurants and gyms for the case increase is wrong resonates with the court. Fletcher says it's not about punishing anyone.
If we let it rage completely out of control and we collapse our entire healthcare system, the negative impact to our community and society will be far greater than the negative impact of the steps we're taking to try and avoid that situation.
Rachel Bianco, ABC 10 News.
Supervisor Fletcher called this a positive step that the board voted unanimously to join the state in the appeal related to strip clubs and indoor dining. Also new today, a San Diego brewery is among a group suing California over requirements that they say they have to serve food to be able to serve beer. It's a requirement that's been in place for months in an effort to cut down on gatherings at places like bars. But the group of breweries is calling the restriction arbitrary in light of wineries not being held to the same standard of serving food. They say that they're not getting equal consideration from state regulators, and now they want a judge to step in.
Today, the highest profile Americans so far received the new Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. You're looking at Vice President Mike Pence, as well as his wife and the U.S. Surgeon General. They all received shots at the White House today in an effort to show that vaccine is safe. Now, vaccinating our nation's heroes and the people who treat them is another huge undertaking. There are more than 418,000 VA workers and some 10 million patients who will eventually get the COVID-19 vaccine through the VA. The department got 73,000 doses this week of the Pfizer vaccine. Residents and staff at long-term living communities ran by the department are first to be vaccinated. There are about 17,500 veterans living in those centers across the country. Also getting the vaccine are VA employees who treat coronavirus patients.
I know that a lot of VA medical centers are going through COVID surges right now, alongside with their communities.
Most vaccines are often mandatory for the military. For now, COVID's still voluntary. That's likely due to limited supply, and because it's only under emergency use for now, still, veteran doctors want to reassure their patients.
I got the vaccine yesterday, and I had a sore arm yesterday, but my arm feels good today. I feel fine today. I would recommend this vaccine to my family and also to my patients when it's available for them and it's their turn.
More than 5,500 veteran patients have died, as well as at least 87 VA staff members as a result of COVID-19. Now, that doesn't include state-run veterans' homes, and according to the plan, the VA is not responsible for providing vaccines for them.
Meanwhile, here in San Diego, more healthcare workers are being vaccinated. It's happening just a few days into the rollout of the Pfizer vaccine and on the verge of that other vaccine being added to the mix in the coming days. And we could be less than 24 hours away from the Moderna vaccine being shipped across the country. Our ABC 10 reporter Vanessa Paz shows us what more doses mean for people hoping to be vaccinated.
Alex Azar, the Health and Human Services Secretary for the U.S., told ABC News that trucks are rolling in and planes are arriving in them. Close to 6 million Moderna vaccines ready to roll out once they're approved by the FDA.
It's like last Friday when I told you about Pfizer. This morning, I can tell you and your viewers that the FDA has communicated to Moderna that we expect to grant their emergency use authorization. That could come as soon as today.
Of those Moderna vaccines, California could get close to double the amount of doses they received from Pfizer last week.
This is an exceptionally safe vaccine. It's a shockingly effective vaccine, the Moderna vaccine as well as the Pfizer vaccine.
U.S. officials not just expressing confidence in both vaccines, but proving it, with top officials like Vice President Mike Pence and his wife getting Pfizer shots early Friday.
We just want to make sure people know we have got supreme confidence in the process and confidence in the safety and efficacy of the vaccine, and we wouldn't ask you to do something that we wouldn't do.
Moderna and Pfizer vaccines rely on the same approach, jumpstarting the immune system with messenger RNA. A recent review by the FDA confirmed the overall effectiveness between the two nearly identical. Meanwhile, as Pfizer vaccines continue to roll out across the country, one of San Diego's medical directors at Sharp Healthcare was the first frontline worker there to receive a Pfizer vaccine early Friday.
Almost half, if not half, the patients that are in the hospital is related to COVID. So this is very real. People are there because they're very ill, very sick. And what you're going to get from the vaccine is nothing in comparison to being in a hospital.
When Moderna vaccines get approved by the FDA, they will have to follow CDC guidelines, which states that healthcare workers and those elderly, more vulnerable, will have priority when it comes to who gets vaccinated first. Reporting from home this morning, Vanessa Paz, ABC 10 News.
And now to this update. Sky 10 is giving us a look at the progress that's being made on the demolition of SDCCU Stadium. You can see that huge hole right there by the scoreboard. Well, crews are in the process now of tearing the stadium down to make way for what will soon be the new home of San Diego State's new football stadium and West Campus that opens in 2022. There it goes. And the Downtown Convention Center will stay open as a homeless shelter through at least March. Mayor Todd Gloria made that announcement today. It's part of a continued effort to protect the homeless from COVID-19. Now, this reverses that decision from former Mayor Kevin Faulkner at the beginning of the month to close the shelter and then move the residents to city-owned hotels. Mayor Gloria intends to seek council approval of a financial plan and revised timeline in January.